One. Good evening and welcome to the Defiance City Council meeting of May 12th, 2026. I'd like to call this meeting to order. We do have all our council members present with the exception of President McMasters. We need a motion to excuse him tonight if we can so move. John?
So move.
Second, Stacy Kaufman. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We stand and join with me, pledge of allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We do start out tonight with a public hearing. Hi, welcome. Are you Lorenzo?
I'm not Lorenzo.
But you represent the Community Development Maumee Valley Planning Organization, and you're here to
Yes.
give us some
Yep.
updates, right?
Yep,
Cool.
that is
All
right,
Thank
yes.
you.
Okay, my name is Esty Blair. Lorenzo had another meeting tonight, so you are stuck with me this
We got the
evening.
good end of this deal, actually.
Thank you. So, I work for Maumee Valley Planning Organization, and we were here back in probably January at what we called the first public hearing for the Community Development Block Grant Program. So if you recall, at that meeting, we went through all of the eligible grant activities that you could apply for in program year 2026 through the Community Development Block Grant Program. So between then and now, we have worked closely with the city to determine what projects are in the pipeline that would be eligible under the CDBG program. So the handout that you have gives you a brief description and some narratives costs related to the anticipated 2 projects that we are likely going to pursue applications for. So this year is the city's allocation year. What that means is that you have a guaranteed $150,000 coming to the city. This is an every other year allocation. So for the allocation grant, the project that is slated to be selected is the Veterans Memorial Laddies Grove Park improvements. You can choose technically up to 2 projects to split that allocation funding, but given the cost of the park improvements, right now we have it slated to take up the full allocation set aside. You can also apply for critical infrastructure projects, and you can apply for 1 residential public infrastructure grant. So there was one project that we identified as a good candidate for the residential public infrastructure grant, or RPIG for short. That is the Wayne Avenue waterline replacement project that will happen from 2nd Street to Downs Street on Wayne Avenue. The total amount is just under $1.9 million for that waterline replacement. The RPIG program provides up to $750,000 of grant funds. The RPIG program is a 1-to-1 match program, but your cost estimate far exceeds what would be required for your match, so we're good there. If you recall, back in January, I discussed national objectives. So these projects have to meet a national objective. The most common is benefiting low to moderate income populations. So the park is in a census area that does qualify, so that checks that box. Wayne Avenue, we are in the process of finishing up an income survey to help qualify that area. So we're still waiting on a couple more surveys to come in, but so far it's looking like it will qualify. There are just a couple brief project descriptions included in the packet for the plans for both of those projects, the cost estimates, and then again, the national objective documentation as well. Are there any questions?
How many more surveys do we still need to get that the study officially completed off of Wayne?
We have like 7 income surveys out right now. I think that yours needs like, was it like 30 or so? I was gonna say 30 or 40. Yeah. So if for some reason we don't get the income surveys and they don't come back at the results that we want, part of that project is in a census place that is designated. So we could play with the scope of work to only conduct CDBG improvements in that census designated place. So we have a backup plan to still be able to do some of it with the CDBG money. We would have to kind of separate some of the items out, so when we go to bid it and then pay with the CDBG money, we can only pay for that income designated area.
And those were mailed.
They were, yep, we did, 3 mailings, I think, for the city already, so. As far as timeline, sorry, you can ask your question first.
Yes, when the study is done, does it focus more on residential or commercial, or does it,
Great question. It's for residential.
okay,
So since the nature of these grants, since we have to meet a national objective, it's qualifying with low to moderate income people. So we're looking at residents here. And the name of the project even implies residential public infrastructure grant, so it's not really for commercial areas.
I was just curious because, you know, a block, 2 blocks over is commercial, basically South Clinton,
Mm-hmm.
and how that's put into the study, so, thank you.
Yeah, good question. I'll briefly go over the timeline. So, the allocation grant, that is due to the state on June 10th. And we will likely hear about the status of funding in probably like October or November timeframe. But again, that one's guaranteed. As long as we show that we met that national objective and playgrounds are an eligible activity, there should be no problem with getting that funding secured. The residential public infrastructure grant is a competitive grant, so you're competing statewide for those funds. And the timeline for that is it's called an open cycle basis. So they start accepting pre-applications, or they're due, I guess, on June 1st for that program. If the pre-application is accepted, they will open up the full application starting July 1st. It's an open cycle, so you can technically apply anytime after July 1, but since it's competitive, the funds go fast, we want to be prepared to submit as close to July 1 as possible. And that one, we also normally hear sometime in the fall.
Any other questions?
Mr. Corbett, I'd just like to say that since we've partnered up with Maumee Valley Planning, Esty and Lorenzo and Dennis and Nikki and Liz Keel have just done a spectacular job on behalf of the city of Defiance. We're very grateful for that.
Thank you. Yeah, we appreciate the partnership. We love to help out.
Well, we appreciate you being here, Esty. You were a capable stand-in for Lorenzo.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Of course.
Yes.
Anything else? All right, I've got another meeting, so.
Oh, all right,
Nice to
goodbye,
hear you.
thanks for coming,
Thank you.
yeah. All right, I have, read the index minutes from the April 28th, 2026 meeting. Do we have any additions or corrections? And we'll approve them as submitted. Do we have any liaison meetings or reports? Mr. Mass?
Just a reminder that Tuesday, May 26th, we will be having our street resurfacing and pavement meeting of the whole to discuss the future of our paving program at 7 o'clock here in the council chambers.
Okay. We will do that then. Thank you. We'll look forward to seeing that. Anybody else? Any comments from council? Mr. Mass?
I had a question, roughly. Approximately, well, less than a year ago, we annexed 230 acres on the north side. And at the time it was said that they in particular are seeking water service, and that's why they want to, and part of why they want to join the city. Now we noticed last week, approximately 137.709 of those acres were sold to a holding company. And I was just curious if we had any updates on what kind of developments might be happening in that area.
We don't.
140 acres, so, I mean, was that the intention originally, or was the intention?
Mr. Master Real Estate, if you look in the paper every Thursday, there's all sorts of real estate
I read
transactions
it
that
every
occur.
Thursday.
I don't hear you ask about any of the others.
Well, normally it's not 140 acres that was just annexed within a year. I'm just curious. It seems like a change of pace from,
We don't know.
that's all I wanted to know.
Yep.
That's what I expected to hear, so, thank you.
Any other comments? Mrs. Crutch?
Saturday was the great Lilac Festival, and I had the pleasure of walking around the 500 block and talked to a lot of the vendors, and some of them were very disappointed in our city streets, that they had put their vendor tents up and there was a couple big potholes. They were concerned for people walking and possibly falling in a couple potholes. I looked, one of them was more like a divot, but it was something that probably should have been filled. So I don't know if we could check like during the car shows or some of those things that where we close up the streets, that maybe the street crew like the day or 2 days before could just kind of look through and clean up the potholes areas. Other than that, they were pleased with the city, and I mean, there were just thousands and thousands of people down there. And the vendors, one was from Middle Point that I talked to, and he did have kind of a bigger divot hole in front of his area. He was thinking about putting the sand there, and I said, please don't. So that was one of the things, but it was a great event. And then also on Donnersville Road, when you're driving and you see Elliott, you see the signs that'll say, color building, decked, whatever. Have we ever thought of having those same kind of street signs for Kingsbury Park, Veterans Grove, Bronson Park? So as you're driving down East 2nd Street and you get to Auglaiche, I know it says welcome to Defiance, but it would be a street sign that would actually say Kingsbury Park that way, so that people would know some of the different area parks. That was just one thing. I know Archibald has a couple of those nice street signs, a couple of the other places do. So those are my big notes. Signage. That's it that I have.
Mr. Hancock?
Yes, I had some compliments in regards to the mosquito spraying forthcoming. I'm not sure if it's early or if it's on schedule, but it seems to be well needed, so thank you. I did want to pass that on.
Any other? Ms. Kaufman?
Yes, I'll contribute that. I was pleased to attend the swearing-in ceremonies, both for the 2 new police officers as well as 3 new fire service employees in the last 2 Fridays. And my, do they look young? But then you see the behind-the-scenes operations at the firehouse and the equipment and the work that they are going to be doing. It's just incredible that our young people are stepping forward, and I, for one, was very thankful to see them sworn in and be on the job.
Yeah, we appreciate them all. Anybody? We're on a roll, no? All right, well, there's nothing on the president's desk, so we'll move over to Board of Control. Mayor McCann.
Thank you, Mr. Corber. Just run down a couple things that have happened. Kind of stole my thunder on the swearing in, but that's okay. And talk a little bit about the Lilac Festival as well. Friday night before Lilac Festival was the induction in the Hall of Fame, and it was very well attended. The auditorium at the Strady was almost full. So that was a very, very nice event. And kudos to the 6 Defiance High School students that presented the case for each person that was inducted. It was just a very, very nice event. On Saturday, I attended the Defiance College graduation. That was a very nice event, also very well attended, so we had a lot of folks in town for that. Today, Mr. Mack was out at Ayersville for the Amazing Shake. Ayersville 8th graders were here today and visited the city of Defiance, and we're all over various divisions. They were at water, they were at wastewater, they were at the street barn, so they were here. So they got a real orientation into city government. This morning I attended a speech contest out at the Defiance Middle School, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. Extremely well done by those young folks. I think there were 18 or 19 participants, and that was very, very enjoyable. One point that we've failed to mention here and should have been mentioned back when Mrs. Brow was here a few weeks ago and talked about updates to the city's website. as I think everyone here knows, Debbie Stevens retired a couple months ago, and we hired Chelsea Girding to take her place. Chelsea was expecting, and she has now had her baby about a month, I think it was April 10th, so about a month ago. And mother and baby are doing fine. Ozzy's a cute little guy. But she's been doing a lot of work behind the scenes, and a lot of that website work is attributed to Chelsea's efforts. She is working from home in spite of the fact she's technically on maternity leave, and I just wanted to thank Chelsea for her efforts. And that's all I have, Mr. Corbett.
Thank you, Mayor. Mr. Mack.
Yes, Mr. President. So as Councilman Hancock pointed out, we have begun mosquito spraying. It is a little early, but as anyone, including myself, has noticed, when attempting to mow your lawn in the evening, the mosquitoes are out there. So we have begun, weather permitting, doing some mosquito spraying already this year. The other thing I wanted to bring up was looking at the calendar between now and Memorial Day. This is the last council session we're having, so I wanted to remind everyone, not that anyone would forget, but our wonderful Memorial Day presentation will be taking place on time, on schedule, with Aaron Clady, I believe, is the speaker.
And I think the fellow they're kind of.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yes, and one of the newer members of the Defiance County Veteran Service
Yep.
Office. So everybody please come out and attend. It's always beautiful. We have done our best, and this kind of tail ends on some of the pothole issues. Everything isn't as perfect as people are used to it, but I just want to continue to remind people, we had a tornado come through the city. And so my crews have been incredibly busy cleaning it up, making us forget that it happened, other than all of the roof repairs that are also going on right now. But so, you know, there are gonna be some spots in the cemetery where trees came down, and we just haven't had a chance to get grass to grow back yet, but everything is cleaned up from that. So just, you know, wanted to point that out. We've been working very hard, and I would commend the crews. It has been a lot of work, it has been a lot of effort to try to make people forget a little bit that we did have a tornado come through, because the city does look so good. But yep, so that tails on with the Memorial Day event. It is coming up. It is going to be on time, on schedule. So I would encourage everyone to come out to that. And then to piggyback on the mayor's with the Ayersville 8th grade, one of the really cool things, we get schools that come through from time to time just to see how a city works, how the operations work. This group of 8th graders specifically was coming to ask about jobs. They wanted to see and hear and ask great questions, not necessarily about parks plans or about paving or about anything else we do as a city, but what do the people inside the city do? And so they got to discover, you know, everything from IT work to construction work, to people who specialize in trees, to, you know, people that specialize in pool chemicals and how do we make a public pool operate properly, chemists at our water and sewer plants. So they got their eyes open to the possibility of careers in public service, and we really need all kinds of people working here. So it was a really neat event, and I thank Ayersville for bringing their students out specifically to talk and interact with, you know, what types of jobs we have here at the City of Defiance. It was very cool. Lastly, I would request an executive session 121.22 G2, consideration of the purchase of property.
We have a request for executive session under Ohio Revised Code 121.22 G2. So, we have a motion, and a second, Mr. Mast and Mr. Waxer.
Mr. Mayor? Mr.
Yes.
Mayor? Mr. Hancock?
Yes.
Mrs. Crutch?
Yes.
Mr. Waxler?
Yes.
Ms. Kaufman?
Yes.
Mr. Engel?
Yes.
And Mr. Corbett?
Yes. So you will have yours.
Thanks, sir.
One more thing, just remind everybody, pothole at cityofdefiance.gov is still operational
Still working.
email, and from everything I've ever heard, it works well.
I've used it a few times and it gets fixed promptly, so we appreciate their attention to it. Mr. O'Donnell.
Mr. President Pro Tem, I too would request an executive session for a conference with the attorney for the public body concerning a dispute involving the public body, subject to imminent court action, section 121.22 G3.
We have another request for the executive session. They're on a roll, so we so moved. Mr. Waxer, second, Mrs. Crutch.
Mr. Engel?
Yes.
Mr. Waxler?
Yes.
Mr. Mass?
Yes.
Mrs. Crutch?
Yes.
Mr. Hancock?
Yes.
Ms. Kaufman?
Yes.
And Mr. Corbett?
Yes.
That's all I have.
Thank you. Mrs. Sprague.
I just want to add to Ryan and the mayor, just because I think our schools don't always get enough credit, but that group of eighth graders was really well behaved. They asked a lot of great questions, and we have a wide range of employees with various backgrounds and how we all got where we got. So it was really good for them to hear. Ryan was in the military, and I started in nursing, and Kyle didn't go to college, and so it was really good. It's stuff they needed to hear. I hope they left inspired and learned a lot about the city, and but they had a lot of really good, legit questions that it was impressive coming out of eighth graders. So, you know, Airsville's doing a great job out there.
They most importantly learned that finance is really in charge.
Yeah.
We all just want finance.
And the best question I thought was funny, they asked if we fight, like if we fight with each other, like we're siblings or something. And we're like, no, we all work together. We have different opinions, but at the end of the day, we all have to work together and live together and run a city together. So it was really, really good. I was really glad to be a part of it. And to add to the Lilac Fest, I had to work the barricades, which was interesting. But so all the vendors leaving, they would roll up to the stop sign or the light and stop. They didn't do right on red. I watched them, and a couple of them put their windows down and said it was their first time being here. They were very impressed. We'll definitely be back. So I thought that was pretty motivating until it started downpouring at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
So
Damn, there's a lot of spirits.
yeah, but it is a great event. And the DDVB does a great job. So
Thank you.
yeah, that's all I have.
That's it?
Yeah.
We do have 5 items of legislation to deal with tonight, so Ms. Elders, would you start us off with the first one?
First reading by caption only, an ordinance renaming the right-of-way identified as Collin Drive to Collin Drive.
Mr. O'Donnell.
Thank you, Mr. President Pro Tem. Forest Hillcrest Edition, platted in 1966 and then recorded in 1967, a year later. You have Evan Drive, and then we have Collin Drive, and then they added this later for more of Evan Drive, and then over here you had Sports Court. This is Collin Drive right here, and it's 2026, so Collin Drive wants to be transitioned to Colleen Drive. And our Ohio Revised Code 723.04 authorizes council to make that name change by the ordinance if it finds good cause that such change will not be detrimental to the public interest. The Defiance County 911 Center has caused some confusion, so that they have brought that to our attention, and we would submit to you that it's in the public interest to have it universally recognized Colleen Drive, named after Colleen.
Okay. Questions or comments from council? Mr. Mast?
I will say, the last time that we changed the name of the street, it did cause some folks some issues, but I don't think that this change is gonna cause anyone an issue.
I would imagine that most of them already believe they live on Colleen Drive.
Doesn't that what the signs say now?
The sign actually says the signs currently reference Collin Drive.
Do they say Collin?
So, yeah, I think the last one was at Harding, and we changed it to Latchaw,
Yes.
and we had those 3 residents that had to change. Yeah.
Any other comments? Mr. Waxler?
No further question, was suspended call.
Yeah. Mr. Waxler, motion suspend and call. Second, Mr. Engel.
Mr. Engel?
Yes.
Mr. Waxler?
Yes.
Mr. Mast?
Yes.
Mrs. Crutch?
Yes.
Mr. Hancock?
Yes.
Ms. Kaufman?
Yes.
And Mr. Corbett?
Yes.
Motion to adopt.
And a second by
Second.
Mr. Hancock.
Mr. Waxler?
Yes.
Mr. Mast?
Yes.
Mrs. Crutch?
Yes.
Mr. Hancock?
Yes.
Ms. Kaufman?
Yes.
Mr. Engel? And Mr. Corbett?
Yes. This motion, or this ordinance is adopted.
First reading by caption only, an ordinance authorizing the creation of the police and fire capital improvement number 406 fund.
Ms. Sprague.
Okay. I would like to table, and I know you need to do them individually, but the next 4 ordinances. I'll first explain to you why I put the ordinances on, and then I'll explain to you why I wanna table them, but in talking with some other finance directors just about budgeting, and large capital expenses like we face in police and fire, and to plan for parks and riverfront, they've generated special funds for those purposes. So that was my thought process behind the police and fire capital improvement fund of 406, and to do monthly transfers out of general fund into that fund. A couple of things, it will become part of the budget process, so it would have its own page. We would look at that amount that we would set up at the beginning of the year, January through December, and what that should look like for both the 406 and the 407. But primarily, I would like to get away from borrowing money. Interest rates aren't 0% or 1% or 2% like they were 5 years ago. 6-7% gets hefty on $400 to $1 million. And to really start preparing and not have to crisis spend in an emergency and have a nest egg set aside. And that was really my thought process for both of those. The reason I would like to table them, the auditors arrived yesterday, which I knew they were coming. Been spending some time with them talking through this, and they recommended that I use a different Ohio Revised Code. It's close to the one I have in this ordinance, but I would like to use that one. It provides more transparency, labels out how long you could leave those funds sit in that fund. It's a max of 10 years. And then it would provide a dollar amount that you couldn't exceed. So I would like to table them and then put them on for that last meeting in May.
Okay, wait. It has to be a left line, because if you table it, you have to call it back.
Mr. O'Donnell,
Call these back.
table.
Well, tabling has the effect of removing the legislation from the table. Then it takes a majority vote of council to bring it back off the table. And then for the following meeting after that, it would be, you could consider it. The finance director could also, in the meantime, if the legislation is tabled, just draft whole new legislation with her preferred Ohio Revised Code section. And that would just require no further action on the bill once it's tabled.
Okay,
And you could just pass the new bill.
okay. We have a request to table this ordinance.
Motion to table this ordinance.
Mr. Mass, motion to table. Ms. Kaufman, second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. It is tabled. Thank you.
Is that all four of them, or we gotta go through?
We got it one at a time, I'm sorry to say. So.
No, I mean,
Good question.
First reading by caption only, an ordinance authorizing the creation of parks and riverfront capital improvement number 407 fund.
Ms. Sprague?
Do you want me to explain it?
No,
again?
it's all right.
I can. But I would like to table this ordinance as well.
We have a request to table. Mr. Waxer, second. Mr. Engel. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. This ordinance is tabled.
First reading by caption only, an ordinance amending ordinance number 8702 passed December 9th, 2025, to make a preparation for current expenses and other expenditures of the city of Defiance, Ohio, during the period of January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2026.
Mrs. Sprague,
I'd like to table it.
we have a request to table this legislation. Mrs. Crutch,
Second.
second. Mr. Mast, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. This ordinance is tabled.
First reading by caption only, an ordinance authorizing a monthly transfer of funds for the city of Defiance, Ohio for the year ending December 31st, 2026.
Ms. Sprague,
I'd like to table.
request to table. We have a motion to table. Mrs. Kaufman, second. Mr. Hancock, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. This ordinance is tabled. Thank you. It is now the part of our council meeting for citizens' concerns. Do we have anybody who'd like to address council tonight? No? No takers? Sorry, I have a letter that was given to us by Ralph Hahn. He's requested that it be read tonight, so I'll attempt to get through that. This is from Mr. Ralph Hahn, Wilhelm Street, Defiance, Ohio. It says, "Greetings, council. It has been 5 years since our city has taken ownership of the 1918 school building on Arabella Street. After 5 years, the building still sits empty and deteriorating more with each passing day. There are broken windows, the basement has flooded more than once, and the interior of the building is in shambles. I would be ashamed to show the building to a potential investor in that condition. I understand the city has invested some money in marketing the property on the internet. The results of that marketing strategy is unknown to the public. We can only assume if there was any interest in the building, it was rejected by the city administration for some reason, or the interested investor just walked away. Something had to happen in 5 years. There were 2 potential uses for the building that was initiated by citizens. One was apartments for senior citizens that was proposed by a Columbus, Ohio developer that specialized in repurposing buildings such as the 1918 for that type of use. The other was to do a feasibility study on the 1918 building as possible use as an extension of the Defiance Public Library and Tuttle Museum. Both of these proposals that were initiated by the citizens were rejected by city administration. Many citizens worked hard before the city took ownership of the 1918 campus to find the use for the 1918 building and to save it from demolition. This includes having the 1918 campus placed on the National Register of Historic Places. Defiance City Council has the final say as to the fate of the 1918 building, After 5 years with no results so far, there should be more involvement by council asking questions of the city administration for regular updates on finding a use for the 1918 campus. We, the citizens of Defiance, deserve to be publicly informed, unlike the last 5 years. It is my expectation, my ask for council, that this letter be read at council meeting and that once per month the 1918 school building be placed on the council agenda for discussion and updates. Thank you for your attention and support in finding a use for this truly great historic building in Defiance. Again, that's from Ralph Hahn. We have no other citizens' concerns tonight? All right, well, we do have 2 executive sessions to tend to. We will take a short recess, stretch your legs while we get ready for them.